Hello, I'm Thomas Lauwers. I'm the Business Development Manager at Xylos, and I'm going to present you in the next 15 minutes a bit more on our security awareness campaign, Inviqta. I'll talk about some answers, the big challenges that we have, and the way you can make that successful within your own company. We know that the pandemic has unleashed a wave of cyber attacks, and it's been in the news all the time. I mean, the numbers have increased on ransomware attacks, phishing, smishing, vishing. It's all over the place. And there is a bit of change from the time before the COVID, because we're a lot more vulnerable today. We're working at home. We don't see those big posters that you hang up with, be aware, be secure. And on the other hand, the bad guys are using COVID or the pandemic as an excuse to give you information on healthcare, to ask you some money for good causes, etc. So we're a lot more vulnerable than before. You're going to be focusing a lot on security. You have been in the past years, and you will be in the coming years too. You're going to be focusing on buying hardware, software to get everything secure. But you know that the last line are the users. Those are your last line of defense. And strangely enough, we know out of reports that more than 80% of all those security incidents are due to human error. So you can have perfect systems, you can have a perfect process at place, but if your people will be the ones who are making the mistake, well, you get a big issue, of course. We know that even if you're gonna spend a lot of millions, a lot of thousands of euros, hopefully, to get all the things secured, well, it is a bit strange that you wouldn't think as logical of properly training your people to have a secure behavior and to act during to secure practices. Well, that could be your best return on investment. So it's about recognizing threats. It's about having the correct behavior when you see a threat. And of course, those secure standards have to become natural DNA within your company. The big challenge that we have here is, how can we make your employees your human firewall? Well, the idea is that we have to build a secure culture within your company. And of course, building a culture is not something that you do overnight. It's a consistent, continuous approach on your employees, on testing, on training, and on communicating about what they need to do, about everything what's changing in the world and how the proper reaction could be. So we have years of expertise on security awareness. As you might know, Xylos has more than 25 years of expertise in learning and digital learning. And we have, from the IT part of Xylos, we have a lot of expertise on security. And we've bundled them together to see what should be the keys of a good security awareness campaign. Primary, engagement. If your people are engaged, or let's say better, if they're not engaged, your rating of success will be very, very low. You need to make the message on security very personal. You got to tell a story where your employees think, oh, well, this concerns me. It is important for me as an individual. If you're just going to talk about, well, the safety and security of the company, well, it's going to be a story of they think it's important and my life is differently. Well, people are working at home right these days, so it's about their life, their security right now. Secondly, you got to walk the talk. Any level of management must proclaim the same message. It's security, it matters, it's very important. And then of course, the nice thing that we have these days on digital learning and the digital way we can talk to people is we can enter a lot of gamification even when people are at home. So engagement will be crucial in the success. Secondly, of course, it's about knowledge, it's about training. I had a client who told me that, well, I want to do some testing on security. I want to do some phishing testing, but I'm certainly not going to do any training because people are already overloaded with training. They don't have time for it. Well, that could be a very nice excuse. I mean, people are overloaded. They got so much information to process, so it's difficult. Well, the thing is, we cannot have that secure culture when people are not able to recognize the threats and are not able to react in a proper way. We need to train them. There's no other way. But we're not going to bother people by training them things they already know. You got to think otherwise. If I'm making a mistake, well, probably I didn't really get it well, so I need to be trained on that part. And I really would like to have a training focused and to the point, to the thing I don't know yet. All the rest, don't bother me, okay? So don't, the idea of I'm gonna put some information, long information, a long mail, or a SharePoint site with the crucial points of security, well, nobody's gonna read it. Nobody's gonna spend 10 minutes, 15 minutes of time reading an email. No, if you're phished, and you phished in a specific type of phishing mail, well, I'm gonna inform you to the point and very short about what could you have done to avoid it, how could you have recognized it. That's interesting, that might motivate me. And if I don't get phished, well, don't bother me with a training about it. So that's a bit of the idea. Third one is reporting. Well, we need data. If we need to know, we have to know an exact picture of your company, of what the maturity level is today in terms of security and in terms of phishing recognizability. So we're going to start, we need to start with some baseline capturing of data. What kind of phishing mails are your people vulnerable to? What kind of risks are they vulnerable to? And then we get in a continuous way, we get a measure, do they report phishing? Is their click rate decreasing? And do they follow their training? So how is their maturity level rising, in fact? Those things, 3 keys, are crucial. If we get them together, we can have success. If you do it in a separate way, you will lose chances. So, I have to see here. Okay, so we've created Inviqta, the Xylos approach on our security awareness campaign. And Inviqta, in fact, it's a campaign, it's a sustainable campaign, in fact, for a year, which we divided in 3 parts. The first part is focused on awareness, so that's more consciousness. People already know a lot about the highlights on security threats, because due to the news, somebody's talking about it. But we need to inform them more about all the things that exist. Also about how they could get some, what kind of trouble, in fact, they could get you in. And so the goal that we have after the first level is that you have a broader overview of the potential risks there are, and we're gonna encourage you from, if you see one, if you get a phishing mail and you didn't get phished, or even if you get phished, don't forget, report it, because IT and the IT department must know that you're under attack. In the second level, we're focusing on competence. It's not just about informing you, it's about training you right now. So, okay, so when you get phished, you will be trained, as I mentioned, to the point and really about the things that you've done. And we're going to focus more and more on the fact reporting is key. That's the most important thing in the whole campaign. And then the third level, well, that's the master level. In this, we're not going to send you an email or a phishing test about Google or someone else. We're going to send you a phishing test that's focused on your department. So if you're in the financial department, you will receive a financial, about a topic which is really related to your kind of work. So, and also the difficulty to be able to recognize the fact that this is a phishing mail will become harder and harder. So we're really going to the master level. At the end, what do we obtain? Well, we obtain the fact reporting of phishing must go up dramatically. The click rate must go down, clearly. The fact that credential sharing could happen, well, people really need to know that's really a bad thing to do. And of course, secure behavior must become part of the DNA of the company. Okay, to have that all done, you see some more on my slides. You see the fact that we're going to use some immersive storytelling. Well, storytelling will be very, very crucial. We got to take people along on the story to get them personally involved within the story, within the whole team, and then talk them through the whole campaign. And of course, we're going to use some gamification. Okay, I'm going to show you just a few parts of how we make that possible. First one is, as I mentioned, walk the talk. Well, the whole campaign starts with a video of your CEO. Well, this is just an example of one. Your CEO is going to explain the importance of security within your company. And then that video will be hacked by Mr. Fisher, because Mr. Fisher is an ethical hacker that your CEO has invited to make you all secure. He's going to challenge you. He's going to test you. He's going to train you. He's going to coach you. He's going to be in communication. He's going to be everywhere because Mr. Fisher is going to be the storyteller of the campaign and the fact what we're going to do. I got to go through. Of course, that Mr. Fisher will be, as I mentioned, in all the communication. So we will create some posters in a digital way or physical way, depends on what's necessary. But also on the emails and all the communication, there will be very clear and to the point information and communication. Okay, so of course, if you want to have success, we need to have a lot of possible templates that we're going to use. At the beginning of the campaign, our campaign manager will discuss with you what kind of tests will be the best, what kind of templates will be the best. But to show you the way the flow is going to be, I'm going to give you a short demo what will happen if I get a email or phishing email. Wait, I'm going here. You see my screen? Not yet. Can you change it? No. Wait, I have to kill my presentation, I guess. And so, yeah, here it is. I guess it now. My computer is crashing a bit, but it's not due to. Okay, here we are. Well, this is just my Outlook. I just got an email from Google Docs, shared Google Docs. Will I be able to recognize that this is a false one? Well, I don't know. I mean, I could have looked at Google Docs at Google login info. It's not really a regular way of an email address, but probably if I work with Google, maybe I will do. So I just click on it. Okay, I want to get that document. There should be a reaction. Here it is. Well, I need to type in my thing, so I just give it some information. I give my credentials, and then I see immediately the response, well, thank you for your password. So it's clear I've been phished here. And I was phished within a screen like Google. It was really recognizable as a real one. So thank you for your password. Mr. Fisher is there who just told me, okay, he talks to me in a personal way. Thomas, you have just shared your email address and password with a hacker. So you're fooled. And then I get, what should I be able to do? How could I recognize it? Very short. You want to know more about it? Well, there is a training that I can follow, or I can go to the training platform and learn a lot more about other trainings. But if I go to the specific training here, I go to the Inviqta training platform. If you do it through SSO, people won't have to pass this screen, but of course, otherwise you will have to pass this screen. And there I go to my training, which will start immediately on the password security. This is an e-learning, which will be informing about a lot of information. They're going to show me a lot. This is, of course, full responsive, so it's going to work on your smartphone and anywhere. There are going to be videos in it. And when I'm at the end, I've done this before, I can exit my course, and then I'm on my personal dashboard of the learning platform. What is there to see? Well, if I do some training, I'm going to get rewarded by badges. I mean, this really is part of the gamification approach, that you need to be rewarded. If I do some training, well, I give you some badges by saying you get some competences. I can see what type of courses there are on the training platform. There's e-learning, there's videos, there's game. I can see what I can filter if I want to on specific topics, and I can see how long they take. So I see what am I doing. I see things I have to continue to finalize. I see what is trending with all my colleagues today, and I see what have I done in the past. Okay, when I'm done here, I just click, I just close it all, and I continue my work. But what if I didn't get phished and I said, oof, this is clearly a phishing mail? Well, on that moment, I'm going to click here on the phishing reporting button, which will be crucial in the campaign. I click on it, and the system, Outlook will tell me, Outlook or Google, whatever system you're using, will tell me you're at the point of telling the system or telling Inviqta that you think there is a malicious mail here. So immediately, when you click on it, a mail will be sent to your own IT department to check it. And a copy of that mail will be sent to this map, possible phishing mails. Okay, so if you click on it, The system also tells you if this was a fake email, we're going to inform you about it. Well, it was a fake email. It was clearly a template. So I'm here. I get a report back. Thank you to report this mail. It was indeed a phony one. It was a phishing email just to test you. So well done. Okay. That kind of reporting is something that we need. I'm going to get back to my presentation now. If that's working well. It is. So that means that the fact that whether you did, the next one, oop. This is not the screen I want to see. This is the one I want to see. Of course, we need, as I mentioned, we need the data about it. So we need to know, did you do your training? Did you get phished? Did you report it? All that kind of stuff. Well, we're going to inform you very clearly on it so that you can follow up the whole training. If you think, well, I want to do such kind of a campaign, I don't have the time for it, or I want to do parts of it. Well, the fact is, we can manage that campaign completely for you. We got our own security awareness campaign manager that will go through the whole process with you and just do it all in an automated way, and you just get reported about the results. Or you could say, well, you know, I just want to have some trainings, or I just want you to do some testing, etc. We can be very flexible in that approach. The idea is we can also manage it in a full, we can also fully manage it by Xylos. Okay, so we're at the end now. I got to make a resume of what's important. There are 5 things. You need to focus on the fact that in the whole campaign, reporting phishing will be the main target of all. The downsizing click rates is important, but the reporting is the most important one. You got to walk the talk. So everybody must say, on any level, security must be natural DNA part of your organization. You got to set up a campaign in a continuous way. So no just loose shots from a bit of training and a bit of communication. It must be all in a consistent way. You must tailor your test and training and make them personal towards your users. And at the end, of course, you need to keep them engaged. Well, we can assure you, by choosing Inviqta, using Inviqta, you will get that kind of result. But in any way, if you have any doubts or questions on it, please do get in touch and we will talk about it and see how we can manage that and make that successful in your company. Thank you very much.